games go flying. Get ready for our review of the goriest sequel of the year, Ninja Gaiden 2. And 2 PS3 games are getting canceled. Find out which ones in the gaming update.
Plus, testosterone's in the air. Get ready for our game list of games for real men. And we've got an all-access look at the return of one of gaming's greatest franchises, Tecmo Bowl. X-Play starts right now.
Welcome to X-Play, television the way Mom used to make it. I'm Morgan Webb.
And I'm Adam Sessler. We're coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles on Wednesday, June 4th.
Later in the show, we have a Mass Effect cheat that will give you the best party possible. Plus, I will destroy 3 consoles using a sledgehammer and a 2-story drop on a concrete floor. Find out which one survived. But first, let's get all of the day's top headlines in the gaming update.
As Ninja Gaiden 2 hits stores, video game publisher Tecmo has responded to Tomonobu Itagaki's decision to quit and file a lawsuit against their company. In a statement released on their website, Tecmo says that being sued by this employee is a huge problem and claims Itagaki's reasons for making this lawsuit public are self-centered. Tecmo also stated that Itagaki is making it seem like he alone is responsible for the development of the games that the Team Ninja staff have poured their hearts into. Sony has confirmed the cancellation of 2 PlayStation 3 titles. First on the chopping block is a game that was announced at E3 back in 2005 called 8 Days. The game was originally planned to be a crime epic set in the desert of Arizona that put players through 8 days of various criminal activities. After conducting an internal review of their first-party titles, Sony also decided to cancel a new version of The Getaway. Resources from both games will be reallocated and redistributed to enhance projects that are already closer to completion. And finally, Call of Duty 4 developer Infinity Ward has proudly announced that over 10 million copies of their game have been purchased. During a recent interview with CNET, Infinity Ward studio head Vince Zampella revealed that Call of Duty 4 is one of less than 10 games to sell over 10 million copies since the year 2000. Well, that's it for today's gaming update. For the latest news, be sure to check out our website, g4tv.com/xplay. Well, now we're going over to Morgan with a few throwing stars up her sleeve.
Thank you, I do. Ninja Gaiden was one of the reasons to own the original Xbox. After 2 remakes and a jaunt into Nintendo Land, a proper sequel is finally here. No Ninja Dog, but this one still needs to learn a few things to become a real master. Here's our review. Ninja Gaiden 2 is bigger, faster, and bloodier than its predecessor, but is it better? Does this guy love liberty a little too much? Does Ryu have to take off his entire one-piece leather jumpsuit to pee?
No one knows where a ninja goes.
This creepy black spider ninja guy is trying to resurrect the Archfiend, who is basically chaos personified, which is bad. Ryu is out to stop him and his fiend allies with a variety of cutting implements. As you may have noticed, combat is a lot faster and a lot bloodier. Enemies are smarter and will absolutely kill you if you let your guard down or don't pay attention. With the right weapon and some practice, Ninja Gaiden 2 is a dance of blades, limbs, and finishing moves that is close to unrivaled in the action genre. Ryu can now hack limbs off his enemies, which will change their attack patterns and make them more likely to try suicide bombing as a method of locomotion. Luckily, a de-limbed enemy is vulnerable to a flashy obliteration technique, which both eliminates the opponent and makes you feel happy inside. A wide variety of weapons gives Ryu a lot of choice when it comes to how to dispatch his demonic opponents, and using the right one is key to success. The weapons are all well balanced, and they all have unique ways of ending your foe's miserable existence. In a new twist, Ryu's health bar regenerates after all the enemies in an area are killed. But take enough damage and a red bar starts filling up your life meter from the right side, signifying health that cannot be regenerated. This allows each fight to be something far more brutal, but also seems to have been a license to add in some pretty cheap shots to Boss's repertoire. Sure, it makes them harder, but it also makes me yell a lot. Sadly, your most deadly foe in Ninja Gaiden 2 is the camera, which actively hates you on a fairly constant basis. Many, and possibly most, of your deaths in this game will come from off-screen, as the camera is simply not interested in showing you what is trying to kill you. And it's hard to find the time to fiddle with the right stick when you can't even get Ryu to stand up.
We have a serious problem.
You'd think by the fourth game they'd have found a way to at least partially solve the problem. The gameplay is great, but for continuing the one tradition we didn't want to see return, Ninja Gaiden 2 only bisects 4 demon ninjas out of 5.
Hey, do you shave with a straight razor? Are your hands calloused from years of wielding an axe and felling trees? Do you wear cable knit sweaters and smell like an Irish Spring? If you answered yes to all of these questions, then you must be a real man. Have we got a lineup of 5 games for you? What's better than a Hummer? You and a lethal colleague tense with anticipation for what's to come.
Questions? No, sir. Good.
You're not this guy. Hell no. The only sun-dried thing you've ever seen is the torched ear of an adversary. You know what the best thing about being a man is? You're not a woman. Your real, majestic beard. And this is 5 games for real men.
Coming in at number 5 is Black. Basically, you play as a series of weapons that can reduce the Vatican to a pre-Cambrian state in seconds. There's some blurry esoterica about arms dealing, but it's an afterthought to the pressure cooking can crushing Bronado your barrels will unleash. Number 4 scores a knockout by redefining the art of boxing games. In Fight Night Round 3, there's all manner of manly elements ladies like to avoid. Sweaty men, vacuous employment, sweaty men, blood, and naturally the odd necessity of the sport itself. Oh, but there is irony. At number 3, Army of 2 pits 2 lethally minded individuals on a collision course with death. This Brolovator only goes one way, straight up. Oh, why thank you. Yank down architectural treasures to ferret out pesky militants.
Open sesame.
At number 2, Gears of War is a pedigree of real men's gaming. Look at these guys. His name is Marcus Phoenix, for Odin's sake. And look at what they're up against. It's a plasma-soaked musical titled Guys in Gore. Number 1 remains the undisputed champ. Nothing alienates men and women more than that masterwork of social engineering known as the Madden Football Series. Run your strategy. Put faith in your tight end as you release the Brown Zeppelin for glory in the end zone. The crowd goes wild. 5 games. 5 chances. Your choice. It's a democracy, at least while we're reloading. So the Lakers and Celtics are in the NBA Finals, at long last giving us a finale worth watching. The last time these two teams met up, pasty white guys were superstar athletes. So who's got the edge this time around? With an animal sacrifice or two and a little help from NBA 2K8, we've got an answer. Here's who's taking it all. The NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, together again. It's like they never left. Competing in the finals once again like Commissioner David Stern planned behind the scenes all along. But which of these legendary teams will come out on top? Only the Xbox 360 knows for sure. The Xbox 360 always predicts the correct outcome, if you ignore the Super Bowl, the NCAA Final Four, of course. There's no big secret here. The Los Angeles Lakers, led by the greatest basketball player and human being to ever walk the earth, Kobe Bryant, will come out as the stronger team. I mean, how can you compete with that? The Boston Celtics won't roll over and die like the Patriots, though. Kevin Garnett just won't let that happen. This series will go 6 very long, stressful games.
Nails the buzzer beater!
But in the end, only one team can win. And that team, the Los Angeles Lakers, 4-2. I love LA. We love it. In a side note, former Lakers center Kwame Brown had some pancakes for breakfast yesterday.
This ain't hopscotch, son.
Coming up on X-Play, Kristen Holt is here with a cheat for the PC version of Mass Effect that will elevate you to Spectre status in no time. Then, the granddaddy of all football games is back on the DS. We've got an all-access pass to Tecmo Bowl Kickoff. Plus, make sure you stick around for a console-crushing classic with Morgan von Webb as she destroys 3 consoles. Find out which one survived after the break.
There's something we've been missing. Summer.
Welcome back to X-Play. In Mass Effect, you'll run across a whole host of odd characters that want to take up arms in your effort to defeat the giant cross-dimensional cockroaches. Kristen Holt, not a cross-dimensional cockroach that we know, is here to help you sort out their unique abilities.
I'm glad I'm not. I hate cockroaches. As Commander Shepard, your teammates are only as useful as the talents you pick for them. In today's cheat, we'll show you how to sail through the game with the deepest bench possible.
You the one in charge here, sir?
Give me a status report, Williams.
There's no I in team. Unless you're the one controlling everybody, then it's all about you playing me on your PC, okay? If you're new to being a Spectre in the year 2183, here is the perfect way to choose and tweak your modded squad. There are 2 people that will best balance out and be complementary to your soldier, Commander Shepard. First is Urdnot Rex, and second is Talizora Naraya.
My name is Tali.
Now that your veritable dream team is assembled, it's time to learn how to keep them playing at their peak performance. Throughout the game, points are awarded. These points are used to up the character's abilities. As you raise the level of certain traits, more abilities will be available to you. So here's what you should do for each of your team members. There's Shepard, whose primary skills are in heavy combat. Points for him should be focused on leveling up his assault rifles, which can become more powerful and even more accurate as you progress. Then, towards assault training and fitness, which will allow you to react quicker and eventually achieve temporary invulnerability. Then there's Rex, who is not only a soldier like Shepard, but also a biotic, which gives him the power to throw enemies with his mind. But before he can use that power, you must level up. Start off by increasing your warp, which leads to throw, which is the most useful power in the game. But don't forget about barrier. That power is like a shield that can make him nearly indestructible, and that in turn becomes stasis, which allows him to freeze enemies, turning them utterly harmless. Finally, to balance out all this brawn, a bit of brains. Tali. Tali's key skills lie in electronics, so utilize that by leveling up her decryption abilities so you can open up chests to score some loot, which will help you keep your team properly equipped. Keep upping decryption so you can start hacking. That will allow Tali to cause the mechanical enemy to turn on itself. But she's not all books. Up the points so she can survive the gunfights by learning to use both pistols and shotguns. Now keep in mind that your team can be as individualistic as you, but we just figured we'd show you one that's built to kick butt and chew bubblegum. And guess what? The Geth stole all your bubblegum. Be sure to check g4tv.com/cheat for the latest tips and tricks. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to Adam.
The Tecmo Bowl series is considered one of the greatest sports franchises of all time. It's simple, fun, and sort of humble and unassuming. Tecmo is bringing the magic back to the DS this fall, and we have your all-access pass to go behind the gridiron curtain. It's been nearly 20 years since the very first Tecmo Bowl side-scrolled its way into the hearts of sports gamers. Now it's poised to return, this time on the DS, with Tecmo Bowl Kickoff. Producer Ryan Gilbo fills us in on the return of this gridiron classic.
A little over 2 years ago when I came to work for Tecmo, Johnny actually told me how there was a large need for Tecmo Bowl to return. I was really the fans, receiving hundreds of emails and phone calls, talking to people on the street, talking to me, asking me when we're going to bring back Tecmo Bowl. And it was really the passion and love for the game from the fans that really inspired me to bring the game back.
But football games have come a long way since the last Tecmo Bowl graced home consoles. So how does Tecmo plan to compete?
Brown 50, hut, hut, hut.
Simply by keeping it, well, simple.
Right now, most of the football games on the market are so complex that it kind of scares people off. This football game is strictly arcade. It's very simple to play. If you look back at the Tecmo Super Bowl on NES and Super NES, this is very closely related to that. We want to have the nostalgia factor. We want to have the simple to play. That's essentially our inspiration for this game.
Although decidedly retro in look and feel, that doesn't mean Tecmo hasn't broken some new ground with Kickoff, namely turning the reins over to Ryan, the company's first American producer.
Well, obviously, when we look at an American sport, you really want somebody who is deeply involved with the sport. It's a lot of fun, challenging, and exciting. I'm paving a way that Americans haven't done in this company before, and I couldn't ask for a better company to work for.
Hut! Look for Tecmo Bowl Kickoff to hit the DS this September. If there's anything that defines a man other than me, it's his love of sports and his willingness to punch out someone who disagrees with him.
That and pretending like you're an athlete. Here are the top 5 selling sports games in today's X list.
Number 5 is Bluesky, the proud winner of the title of first third-party title for the balance board that you probably wouldn't have bought if you had options.
Number 4 is Deadliest Catch Alaskan Storm. Yes, people, we've resorted to buying games based on reality shows. And number 3 is Pro Evolution Soccer 2008, which is really the first sports game on the list so far.
Number 2 is Grid, which is in stores today. Unlike fancy boy games like Gran Turismo 5, the cars smash up real good in this one.
But the number 1 selling sports title is Mario Kart Wii. Yeah, it feels like kind of a stretch. For me, Mario Kart is to sports, well, what I am to sports.
If you really want to hear what I really think about games, not in a pro-misfilter kind of way, check out Sessler's Soapbox. You can watch my sweat beat up exclusively at g4tv.com/soapbox every Wednesday. And this week, I talk about Konami, their restrictions on reviews, and why it all matters. So tune in for the fireworks.
Now when X-Play returns, we destroy some consoles and a little X-Play classic. But first, try your hands at today's trivia question.
How many original Tecmo Bowl players are still in the NFL? Is the answer A, 0, B, 2, or C, 7? We'll have the answer right after the break.
Fans and critics. Fans and critics agree Attack of the Show is time well wasted. One of the coolest shows on TV. Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7 and 10, only on G4.
Before the break, we asked you this trivia question. How many original Tecmo Bowl players are still in the NFL? The answer is A, 0. Punter Sean Landetta retired on March 6, 2008, the last active player from Tecmo Bowl.
Welcome back to X-Play. Studying the classics is a good way to get a sense of the foundations of Western culture, which is why we proudly serve up this X-Play Classic. Trust me, this is much more useful than any of those classes you're taking right now. Hello, I am Morgan Von Webb, and welcome to my web of destruction. Test 1, weight of the world. Will the GameCube survive Test 1? Let's see. Very nice. PS2, how about you? Oh, it's so sad. Nobody is home. Hello? Such a failure, such a failure. Oh, Xbox, let's see how you do. Very nice. The demon drop. It's a long, long way down. Oh, Xbox, there is no way to turn you on. You lose. Oh, did somebody have a little tumble? The strongest one survives. Now the losers must be punished.
Let me lost, baby, let me bump and toss the lights off. Clothes off, bumping on walls, we all night. My juicy poo, hold me tight and ride. All sweet.
I'm sorry. These days, going outside just hurts, so do the right thing, stay out of the sun, and stick with us.
This July, G4 is the official broadcast sponsor of E3, the biggest video game event of the year.
We will get you inside with commercial-free E3 spotlights on Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, and we'll serve up the latest news, announcements, and previews of the year's hottest games.
You won't find E3 coverage this extensive anywhere else.
Nope.
E3 08 live week-long coverage begins July 14th, only on G4.
Tomorrow on X-Play, Playboy Cyber Girl of 08 is here to pass through X-Play's video game gauntlet. Then Jason Bourne is back with a summer blockbuster, but this one's not on the big screen. We have your review of the Bourne Conspiracy. Plus, find out the results of Mr. Sark's latest gamer challenge for Grand Theft Auto 4. And be sure to be here Friday, June 13th at a special time, 9 p.m., as X-Play presents Beyond the King of Kong. We've got an exclusive new interview with Steve Wiebe and director Seth Gordon. Plus, never before seen footage of Billy Mitchell in this half-hour special. Don't miss it.
Do you feel bad for Billy Mitchell at all?
I always try to, and then I'll rewatch the movie again,
Yeah.
and you just can't.
I just know about the power of editing, and I worry that he's been completely vilified, but you watch that movie and you're like, be nice to Steve Wiebe.
Well, you would also think that if they had kind of edited it to make him look that bad, they would have been like, hey guys, no, I'm really cool, look, I'm hugging babies. And we haven't seen that happen yet. So.
Thanks for watching X-Play.